Have you ever wondered how one man could change the course of a nation's history? Today, we delve into the story of King Alfred the Great, the Unifier of England. Born in the late 9th century in the Kingdom of Wessex, Alfred's early years were as turbulent as the times he was born into. The year was 849, and England was a land divided, under the constant threat of Viking invasions and regional conflicts. Amidst these uncertainties, a young prince was born. His name was Alfred, and his birth marked the beginning of a new chapter in the annals of English history. The world around him was fraught with danger and strife. But within the young prince, a spark of greatness was ignited. As he grew amidst the turmoil, he would come to embody resilience, wisdom, and courage. Little did the world know this young prince was destined for greatness. Amidst the chaos, a young Alfred found solace in wisdom and knowledge. Despite the uncertainty of his early years, Alfred's insatiable thirst for learning set him apart. His childhood was steeped in the study of ancient texts, imbuing him with a profound appreciation for the wisdom of the past. He recognized the power of knowledge, the strength it could lend to a leader, and the unity it could bring to a kingdom. His education was not confined to the dusty corners of a library. Alfred was also trained in the art of war, understanding that a ruler must be as adept with a sword as with a quill. He was a scholar and a warrior, a rare combination that would serve him well in the tumultuous years to come. Alfred's love for learning and his steadfast belief in its importance were not fleeting passions. They were deeply ingrained characteristics that would profoundly shape his reign. This thirst for knowledge would later shape his reign. The Viking threat loomed large over England, bringing Alfred to the forefront of leadership. Dark clouds of invasion hung heavy over the land, casting long shadows of dread and uncertainty. The formidable Vikings, led by the ruthless chieftain Guthrum, had set their sights on England. Their swift longships cut through the waves, bringing with them the chilling promise of conquest and destruction. In the year 871, amidst this grim backdrop, Alfred was thrust into a position of power. He ascended the throne of Wessex, the only kingdom in England that had managed to resist the Viking onslaught. Leadership was not a mantle he had sought, but it was one he was prepared to bear. His people, their lives and homes at stake, looked to him for guidance and protection. With the future of England in his hands, King Alfred was ready for battle. The stage was set for a clash of titans, a fight for the very soul of England. In 878, the pivotal Battle of Edington would change everything. The stage was set for a clash of titans, with Alfred leading his forces against the marauding Vikings. Alfred, the scholar warrior, now found himself as the strategic mastermind in a battle that would decide the fate of his kingdom. With the odds against them, Alfred's forces marched into battle. The air was thick with tension, the ground quaked with the weight of destiny. But Alfred, undeterred, led his troops with the confidence of a seasoned leader. His strategic acumen was on full display as he outmaneuvered the Vikings, turning the tide of the battle in favor of his men. The victory at Edington was decisive. The Vikings, once the harbingers of doom, had been defeated. A beacon of hope was lit that day, hope for a unified England under Alfred's rule. As the dust settled, it became clear. This triumph marked the beginning of Alfred's efforts to unite England. King Alfred's influence extended beyond the battlefield into the halls of justice. He was not just a warrior, but a visionary leader who understood the importance of law and order. Alfred introduced significant legal reforms, creating a code of laws that emphasized justice and fairness for all. This was no small feat in a time of turmoil and uncertainty. Alfred's legal code, often referred to as Dombok or Doom Book, was an amalgamation of existing customs and principles, carefully compiled and refined. It reflected a deep sense of moral responsibility and was a testament to Alfred's commitment to create a just society. The laws were not merely punitive, but also rehabilitative, aiming to rectify wrongs and restore balance. They were comprehensive, covering a range of matters from property rights to criminal offenses, setting a precedent for the rule of law in England. His vision of fairness and justice still resonates in England's legal system today. To secure his kingdom, King Alfred introduced a revolutionary defensive strategy. As the Viking threat persisted, Alfred needed a robust solution. This led to the implementation of the Bure system. Picture a network of fortified towns spread across the kingdom like stars in a constellation, each one a beacon of defense and refuge. These Bures, strategically positioned, served as formidable strongholds against Viking invasions. Each Bure was a hive of activity, housing not only soldiers but also craftsmen, traders, and families. They were more than mere military outposts. They were vibrant communities bustling with life and commerce, anchoring the social fabric of the kingdom. But the Bure system was more than just a defensive strategy. It was a blueprint for the future. These fortified towns morphed over time, growing and evolving, their walls witnessing the passage of centuries. These Bures laid the foundation for the medieval English towns we see today. King Alfred's passion for learning led him to foster a culture of education in his court. Recognizing the power of knowledge and the role it plays in shaping a nation's future, Alfred took a step that was quite revolutionary for his time. He established a court school, a hub of learning and wisdom in the heart of his kingdom. This was no ordinary school. It was a place where the brightest minds of the era gathered, engaged in intellectual discourse, and shared their insights with the young and eager students. Alfred didn't stop at merely establishing the school. He personally invited scholars from across the land to come and teach. These scholars brought with them a wealth of knowledge and expertise, enriching the minds of those who attended the court school. Alfred's vision was clear. He sought to create a society where education was valued and nurtured. His commitment to education ensured that knowledge would be passed down to future generations. One of King Alfred's most enduring legacies is the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle. This monumental work was not just a historical record, but a masterstroke of Alfred's vision to safeguard his people's history and culture. Recognizing the importance of preserving their heritage, Alfred commissioned the creation of the Chronicle. The Chronicle began as a year-by-year account of significant events tracing back to the earliest days of the Anglo-Saxon peoples. It was a living document, continually updated by various scribes over centuries, providing an unbroken narrative thread through the annals of time. But the Chronicle was more than a mere timeline. It offered rich insights into the society, religion, politics, and culture of the era. It captured the voices of the people, their joys and fears, their trials and triumphs. It told tales of kings and warriors, of poets and peasants, painting a vivid picture of life in Anglo-Saxon England. The Chronicle remains an invaluable window into the past thanks to King Alfred's foresight. King Alfred's reign marked a turning point in the history of England. His leadership was more than just military victories and defense strategies. It was a vision of a united England, free from the terror of Viking invasions, a land where knowledge was cherished and justice was the cornerstone of governance. Alfred's vision was not confined to his present. He was a man who thought ahead, laying the groundwork for a unified England. His innovative Bure system, a network of fortified towns, was instrumental in this endeavor. Not only did these Bures provide protection against Viking incursions, but they also laid the foundation for the development of medieval English towns, thus playing a significant role in shaping the geography of England. His influence didn't stop at physical landscapes. Alfred's impact on the English language was profound. He championed the use of English at a time when Latin was the language of the learned. His translations of Latin texts into English and the commissioning of the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle in English marked a significant step towards the development of Old English, influencing the language we speak today. Alfred's legal reforms were equally transformative. He introduced a code of laws that emphasized justice and fairness, shaping England's legal system. His laws upheld the principles of personal responsibility and accountability, values that are deeply ingrained in the legal systems of many nations today. But perhaps Alfred's most enduring legacy was his commitment to education. He established a court school and invited scholars to teach. ensuring that knowledge was passed down to future generations. His belief in the power of education to bring about societal change resonates even today. King Alfred the Great, a visionary, a scholar, a warrior, and the unifier of England. His reign was not just a chapter in history, but a turning point that set the course for the nation's future. His legacy echoes through the ages, shaping the nation we know today.